close your eyes for a minute. And without referring to your past, referring only to your current direct experience, is there anything in your current experience that tells you, I am a black woman?
No.
Is there anything in your current experience that tells you, I am a woman?
No.
Is there anything in your current experience that tells you, I am a person?
No.
So the moment you cease believing, I am a black woman, or I am black, not only I am black, but I'm a woman, or I am a person, at that moment, everybody else that used to be black, that used to be a woman, that used to be a person, ceases at that moment to be black, a woman, a man, or a person. And that is the gift you have to give people, because that frees them immediately from the oppression, not just of being black, not just of being a woman, but the oppression of being a separate, finite self, always negotiating experience, trying to get something from it or defend itself against it. So that is the gift to take to other people. You are not trying to free people. That is an approach that targets the ego. You are trying to show people that what they already and inherently are is freedom itself. And I think I'm beginning to see now, I know there are a lot of people here from the Course in Miracles, and I've had lots of conversations with people, and I'm beginning to see more and more clearly the similarities and the distinctions. And the distinction is that the Course in Miracles, it's founded on this understanding, but it addresses the person. Here we don't address the person, we address awareness. We are not trying to do something to the person. The person is not practicing a method in order to become something. Here, we're not really interested in the person. You can't say that in many groups of people, but you understand what I mean. It's not an uncompassionate statement if understood correctly. We are profoundly interested in happiness, in the relief of suffering. But we're not interested in the person. We don't give the person something to do in order to improve, in order to become enlightened. We go directly to what we essentially are. So you're on the right track, and you've also reached a stage that I've noticed over the years that many people who come here from other traditions, from Course in Miracles, or from a Buddhist tradition, or from a Christian tradition, they come with a great, and I know this because I came to this direct path from the classical Advaita tradition, and like many people that come to this teaching from other traditions, I had great love for my tradition, great respect for it, great respect for the teachers involved, great respect and love for the people in my community that I had grown up with over 2 or 3 decades. And many people come here from other traditions with a similar love and respect for their teacher, for their fellow students, and for the teaching. However, they realize that they have reached a limit, and this provokes a crisis. It is a crisis of loyalty to the teacher and the teaching and the people within their community, but it is also a crisis of their loyalty to the truth, as they now understand it. And very often the shell of our previous teaching has to give, it has to crack. It's nurtured us beautifully for 5, 10, 20, 30 years. But at some point we realize that the architecture of that teaching is too narrow for us. Our understanding has expanded beyond the understanding that is contained in that teaching. And that is a difficult moment because of our loyalty, one, to the truth, and two, to our community. So your loyalty, you are now facing a similar crisis. It's really a crisis of identity. Your loyalty is not to black people. And I say that cautiously because I trust you understand what I mean. I deeply empathize with your desire to help oppressed black people, but your loyalty is not to black people. It is to the truth in all of us, which is nothing to do with being black or white, nothing to do with being a man or a woman, nothing to do with being an Advaitin or a Sufi or a Course in Miracles person or a Buddhist. So at some point we have to be really courageous and not allow even the finest of limitations to limit us.
I cannot thank you enough for that. And so I'm glad that I said it out loud because I am committed to being who I am, to being awareness. And I know, because I've heard you talk about it, that as a person who formerly identified themselves as a black person, in my physicality, there's a lot of resonance with the terror that people of color in this country have.
Yes.
So what I'm noticing, like last night, I live on an island off the coast of Massachusetts, and I don't have a key to my house. We don't lock anything. So when I came here and there were no locks on the doors, I was like, this is just like home. Well, last night, I was terrified. I thought somebody was murdering people and that they were going to come to my room. And so what's coming through me is the residue. I mean, and this is not the first time, but so I'm just...
Yes, it's a residue not only from your own life, but it's a residue that you've inherited from your ancestors. It's the collective fear that black people have passed on viscerally from one generation to another, and it is so deeply impregnated in you that it lasts after you have had this understanding that what I essentially am is neither black nor a woman nor a person. This conditioning is so deep in your body that it will remain after this recognition. And that is very much what our yoga meditations in the morning are orientated towards, to exposing these old and very deep wounds and residues in the body, gradually exposing them to the light of awareness and dissolving them.
I'm staying.
And I just want to say one other thing, because here I can say, because of the understanding that we all share, I can say very direct and very radical things in 2 minutes. We can do this little exercise and realize I am not black, I am not a woman, I am not a person. Now here we can speak like this, but you can't go back to your, I don't know exactly what your circle, your community is. You cannot go back and start your meeting next Monday evening to say, close your eyes, see that you're not a black person. You can't. That would provoke so much resistance in them that it would only compound their suffering. It would not relieve it. So your job now is to go back to your community and to take this understanding and to tailor it as best you can to your community. You want to bring them to this understanding as fast as possible, but you have to respect where they are. I could say this, I could do this little exercise with you because you had already indicated to me that you were already there. But we're a very unusual group here. We may not realize it, but we have already passed through several filters in order to come here. And if we're here, it is because we are open enough, deeply in love with the truth enough, courageous enough to be able to go very directly. And that's not always possible. So that's just one thing I would add about tailoring this understanding to your community.